Hey, Dodger fans, coming at you live from my mom's basement in beautiful Pleasant Grove, Utah. This is the All Dodgers podcast, brought to you by FanDuel, part of the Believe network of podcasts. I am Jeff Snyder. I got two friends with me. The one closest to me, that's Clint Pasillas, and the one farther away, that's Kevin Skinner. And the three of us are here to talk Dodgers, to talk Shohei Ohtani, to talk about the Dodgers offense, eventually to talk about ice cream because Joe and Earl got bored and made us all hungry. Bottom line...
That was so good.
So Clint, you know how sometimes you're watching a baseball game and there's some elite hitter up and they'll just throw out a random tidbit like, in high school he was a heck of a pitcher too. Some teams were thinking about drafting him as a pitcher. Senior year he went 13-1 with a 1.07 ERA, and a lot of people thought that was his future. That's Shohei Ohtani, except that high school pitcher is doing it against big league hitters. Like it's the kind of stuff that you're only supposed to be able to do in high school when you get to play it against high schoolers. You shouldn't be able to do what Shohei Ohtani can do, Clint, and that's why nobody else can. But Shohei somehow ridiculously can.
Yeah, I was just talking about this a few minutes ago on the Dodgers territory. Check it out if you guys missed it. It was a good one. But to have somebody who can hit at an MVP level and also pitch at a Cy Young clip, and like you wouldn't, if he's standing in the box, you wouldn't know that this guy is an elite pitcher. And if you see him pitching, you're not going to know he's an elite hitter. And the fact that he's able to do this just with such ease, 6 shutout innings, he reaches base 5 times in this game. The batting average back over 300. He is an absolute marvel. This guy is, you will never see another human being like this. We never have seen a human being like this. I don't care what Babe Ruth did back when Pop was 14 or 15 years old, because they only let white people play baseball back then, and I think the baseball was made out of rubber bands. Like this guy's doing it against the most elite of the elite people. They have the best health. They have all of the best things you can get. He's insane.
Yeah. And Kevin, Clint mentioned the batting average. Ohtani is now third in the National League in OPS. He's only 8 points behind Kyle Schwarber, the leader. He has the best on-base percent. The funny thing is, the reason he doesn't lead the National League in OPS is because he's not hitting very many homers. His slugging percentage is what's holding him back. He's 9th in the league in batting average. He's leading the league in on-base percentage. He's only 11th in slugging percentage. But yeah, that 941 OPS. We are legitimately back to where, Kevin, even if Ohtani wasn't pitching, he'd be in the MVP conversation, which when you look at where he was, 3 weeks ago and where he is now, it's kind of ridiculous.
It's pretty remarkable. And it's even more remarkable when there was a conversation that people were having not on this show about how he was slumping and washed and he was regressing and he just wouldn't be able to do it anymore. And it's like, you guys just got to give him a break. He'll get there eventually. And yeah, like you mentioned, like the numbers you just read, he's back to doing what he's doing best. I was checking out his StatCast page because there's a couple things I wanted to look at. His batting profile, bright red again. Pitching profile, also bright red again. Even if he's unable to win the Cy Young Award, because it would be because of innings at this point, and he'll just have to settle for an MVP again, and arguably the greatest single season any player has ever had. So I know they don't give awards for that, so you might not get a piece of hardware for it, but if he keeps this up, it'll be 2026 Shohei Ohtani, a pretty big gap, and then everybody can argue amongst themselves who they think had the next greatest season by a baseball player.
Yeah, absolutely. So Clint, on a day that one bit of Orel Hershiser's 1988 history was salvaged, Christopher Sanchez finally allowed a run, ended up 6 1/3 innings shy of Orel Hershiser's record. But there was another little bit of Orel Hershiser. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, really Sanchez is amazing. But another little bit of 1988 Hershiser stuff going on tonight. I don't know if you remember Game 2 of the 1988 World Series. Orel Hershiser allowed 3 hits on the mound and had 3 hits of his own. the Ohtani of my childhood. You know, I believe one of them was an infield single and a couple slap hits. Maybe not quite the same kind of hitter as Ohtani, but
I need the highlight of Oral Hershiser running out.
That whole game is available on YouTube, and the best part is you get to watch him put on the satin windbreaker when he gets on base, and that thing was, because Oral can rock anything. Like, he has got the body type that can make any piece of clothing look funny, and especially those satin windbreakers. But Ohtani tonight allowed 3 base runners in 6 innings, was on base 5 times himself. Obviously his 2 greatest games until he surpasses them are the game against the Brewers in the NLCS last year and the 50-50 game against the Marlins. Those 2 were ridiculous. But tonight, 3 base runners on the mound, 2 hits and a walk in 6 innings to lower his season ERA to, what is it, 0.73? 0.74?
Yeah.
And
lower
be on
than
base
his whip
5 times. Yeah, back to his ERA is back lower than his whip. 10 starts into the season. Just like, I'll put it out there. Hot take. Ohtani's an even better hitter than Oral Hershiser was.
I think we could say that.
Argue with the wall, guys.
Yeah, I can't believe. Listen, you don't know what the game was like back then, all right?
Yeah.
Yes, you do. You were there.
Hey, DC in the chat says Shohei obviously had some IQ bars. I think we all know that's true. You know that's right.
Yeah. That's the only way to win your day.
Yeah. Oral Hershiser above the Euchre line.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was a good hitter for a pitcher.
The teaser. So we do have Bulldog on Dodgers territory tomorrow. We did record it on Tuesday. We did ask him his thoughts that he also shared kind of on the broadcast today, but asked him thoughts about where Sanchez was at in that historic run. And, he's very diplomatic about it. But one of the things I've always wanted to ask him, I've interviewed him a number of times. Like, people don't give enough respect to that 89 season, which was a more, because
the win-loss record wasn't great, but he was awesome that year.
Breaking news: Katie Wu asks him about pitcher wins. Guys want to tune in? I'm just saying.
Yeah,
7 WAR as a pitcher. That's crazy in '89.
Yeah. Oh, he was. Good. Yeah, he was good. Oral Hershiser was good. Shohei Ohtani's even better. That's the bottom line here. Ohtani even better. So he was on base 5 times, like we mentioned. He could have gone deeper in the game probably, except for 2 things. One, he was already laboring in that 6th inning, and at 88 pitches, it's first and second 1 out with Corbin Carroll coming up. And so Dave Roberts is having to prepare for, he's going to be close to 100 pitches by the time he gets through this inning, if he does get through this inning. Nobody knew that Corbin Carroll on the first pitch would hit into a double play, because Corbin Carroll doesn't hit into double plays, and, first pitch, even better. And so he was at 89 pitches, but they had already started warming up somebody in the bullpen, Jonathan Hernandez. They had I think Dave Roberts had made the decision when Ohtani was struggling there in the 6th, this is it. And I think that decision also might have been informed by the fact that he was apparently battling some sort of finger ailment throughout the game, whether it was a blister, a hangnail, something. There was a little bit of blood going on. We saw him at one point. At the end of an inning, he's about to go get his hands checked by Jordan Baker, my least favorite umpire. Yeah. And he's chewing on his finger. Then he realizes, he's like, oh, sorry about that. Here's my saliva covered hand. But yeah.
Do you think he made the sound effect though? No.
He might have. I hope so.
Only Freddie's teeth do that.
Yeah. But it's right at the hinge here of the, the knuckle, I guess is what you would call it.
The hinge. Yeah.
Listen, bro, I'm on vacation mode already, trying to GTF out of here. But right there on the inside of that index finger, and I had noted in the All Dodgers Discord, by the way, signed up on Patreon to join us on the Discord. I had noted that over the first 3 innings, he had only thrown 1 splitter And for him to not throw such an important weapon, I was like, something tells me that there's a little bit of something off with that finger. He's probably, you saw him kind of picking at it at that point as well. He probably had the blister. Eventually you see the photos and all of that kind of stuff. Also had trouble commanding the curveball early until he kind of cleared the skin out of the way. But imagine that. Imagine reaching base 5 times, gentlemen, and also throwing 6 shutout innings with blisters on me fingers. That's the Rolling Stones, by the way, for Kevin. Yeah. Everybody else is the Beatles.
I'm aware.
Name 2 members of the Rolling Stones, Kevin.
Keith Richards and Mick Jagger.
Good job. Can you name a third? Ohtani only ended up throwing 3 splitters the whole game. Only threw one of them for a strike. And so, yeah, very clear. Like you said, Clint, that's a big weapon for him, which makes it all the more impressive that he did what he did without... I mean, he was basically like a 2-pitch pitcher, kind of. I mean, he threw
a lot of sweepers and a lot of 4-seamers tonight.
Yeah, sweeper and a handful of curveballs, handful of sliders, couple cutters, but yeah, I mean, it's mostly fastball, curveball. He did throw actually. I didn't even notice these. He threw a handful of changeups, 7 changeups. Which I don't really think of him as throwing a changeup very often, other than the splitter, depending which acts as a changeup. But
depending on the change, I mean, like a circle change gets that finger completely off of the ball. Yeah. So I could see. Imagine that, like just on a whim, because you don't have all of the pieces of your meat on your hand. You're like, whatever. I'm gonna throw a changeup tonight, and it's gonna work.
Yeah,
that's Kershaw could never.
Kershaw. Hey, he worked on, how long was he in the league? He worked on that changeup for 45 years.
He really wanted a changeup. Never quite got there. Yeah, it's just, I hope we don't take for granted what Ohtani's doing, because it's ridiculous. Like a couple starts, you're like, oh, wow, this is a great start to the season. He's really taking this seriously. We're 10 starts in. We are, well over a third of the way into the season. And Ohtani has an ERA that would be excellent if it was 3 times what it is. People have won the Cy Young Award based on their ERA with an ERA 3 times what his currently is. I say it every time. He's not going to finish the season with an ERA under 1, but every time he just lowers it, it's like, well, maybe he wants to prove me wrong. And if anybody was going to do it, it might as well be the guy who already does a zillion things that nobody else ever even thought they might be able to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's gonna end up being like on a per game basis. He's just gonna have these crazy stats that are just gonna far exceed everyone else's, but it's gonna come down to innings, and I think it's fair, but it sucks. But also, I think it's a credit to, again, if Christopher Sanchez and Jacob Mizorowski can keep doing what they're doing, because those guys are also having incredible seasons. If, maybe in another given year, Ohtani still is a front runner, because it's a slightly weaker class. I mean, we just had an insane month of May from 3 different pitchers in the National League. Like this, what we're seeing from National League top tier pitchers, we don't see all that often. So, if he doesn't get the Cy Young Award, it's really going to be because somebody else earned it. It's been like the slate of pitchers that were up on today was just really fun to watch if you just tuned in and passively in the background.
There are 5 guys in the National League right now with an ERA plus of 190 or better. Do you know what the live ball record in a non-strike shortened season or non-shortened season for most pitchers in the National League with an ERA plus of 190 or better is?
Probably 2.
2015. Zack Gallen and Jake Arrieta. That's the record.
Wow.
Kershaw was just under. He didn't quite make the cut. That's the record. That's the only time there's ever been more than 1 in the National League in a season. There are currently 5. Now, the reason I said non-shortened season was because there were 3, maybe 4, I can't remember, in 2020, which, by the way, the 2020 season was about as long as this season has been so far. which kind of underscores the fact that it's easy, not easy. It's possible to do this for 60-ish games. Do it for 162 is a lot different. And that's why, Ohtani is likely to fall off. These other guys, Jonathan Sanchez is likely to fall off a little bit just because you can't stay that good forever, The other three are Chase Burns, Chris Sale, and Jacob Misiorowski. All those guys will probably fall off a little bit, but I don't see how Jacob Misiorowski, unless he just forgets how to throw strikes, because it's ridiculous, And then you got Paul Skeens, who could absolutely get himself back into that conversation by the end of the season. So it is currently a historically good crop of pitchers in the National League, to the point where Shohei Ohtani, there will be no shame in not winning the Cy Young Award if a couple of these guys stay healthy and stay this good, because he is going to have a huge disadvantage in innings pitched by nature of the 6-man rotation. He's just going to have to settle for another unanimous MVP.
Hear me out. At the end of the year, if it's close enough, they settle it like gentlemen. Best of 3, Rochambeau.
I like that.
If Shohei doesn't win, best 3 out of 5.
Yeah, hey,
I bet you Shohei has a strategy where it's like he could find out how to like tilt the odds slightly in his favor, so it's not just a 33% chance to win. He's like,
the summer after high school,
Bart always picks rock.
Summer after high school, I was a sandwich artist at Subway, not a sponsor, and that summer, so the restaurant I worked in didn't have air conditioning, and that summer in Lake Elsinore, we had like a 2-week stretch where it was 115 every day and humid, and so nobody was coming to Subway because nobody wanted to leave their house, and so I'd just be there, and we would go hours at a time with no customers. And so me and my coworkers, we would just sit in the walk-in refrigerator. And then when we heard the bell that somebody came in, we'd rock, paper, scissors to see who had to go help the customer. And my coworker Haven, she always did paper. And she couldn't figure out how she lost to me every time. So I went like a week without helping a customer because it was hot, and Haven was bad at rock, paper, scissors.
That's fantastic. Hey, you know what else is fantastic?
Me?
Sal V just became a member of the YouTube channel. We appreciate Sal.
Way to go, Sal.
I saw it pop up. The thing doesn't really help. The thing that helps. It doesn't help us know when people join on the YouTube side or become a YouTube member, which is very annoying. I happened to see that one. We appreciate everybody who has. I think you guys last night, Kevin and Speegs got like 3 or 4 new members on the channel. We appreciate you guys a whole bunch. You should get some information that says to reach out to me so you could get access to the Discord. But thanks, Sal V. Appreciate you. And everybody else is here. Over 660 people live with us right now. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, help the boys out. We are dangerously close to 23,000, and that puts us that much closer to 25,000 subscribers. So that would be cool.
Great. Technically puts us that much closer to any number you want to choose that's higher than 23,000. We got
that's science, baby.
We got a super chat for, how did Alana pronounce this username? Jetty Engineer?
Jetty Engineer. We love Jetty.
$5 from Jetty.
Sure. Revenge of the Jetty.
That's Ronnie James Dio's brother, Jetty. Great day on Japanese Heritage Night. Increased my attendance record to 5-1. It was a night to remember. Happy to be a part of history tonight. Way to go, awesome. Jedi Engineer. You're a champion. 5-1.
I need to go to a game with Jedi Engineer. I'm on like a 5 losing streak.
In the time that I have known you, I don't think you've ever won a game or been to a win.
Hey,
I don't think so either.
Let's add another L to your record. Glenn Ishii in the chat, referring to your shirt, says, "What game did Kevin ref today?"
I earlier in the chat, I was dying when I saw that, and really yeah, it's so good. Somebody else also asked him, "What time did you get off your job at Foot Locker?"
That's a great one. I like that too.
I like that. Hey,
in the chat.
Matty Man, we got a. He said. Matty Man says, calling it now. Shohei will throw a no-hitter this season, and Cole says, Ohtani isn't throwing a no-hitter. He starts getting tired around the 5th inning. And you can tell that's from Cole and not Richie because we didn't make fun of all the different spelling mistakes in there. So, Kevin, I saw you shaking your head at Matty Man's prediction that Ohtani's throwing a no-hitter. You think no?
Not a complete game. Like he could be part of one.
Part of a combined one. If Tanner Scott doesn't be a good time ruiner again.
Yeah, but I don't think he's efficient enough as a pitcher. And like Nicole mentioned, he does get tired around the fifth inning when he's on base 5 times. Great for us. It's a great viewing experience, but it doesn't help him any in the I need to pitch longer into this game category.
What do you think, Clint?
Sorry, I got distracted by Chad Moriyama quote tweeting Kevin Skinner, and that just threw me for a loop.
Wow.
What?
Man, you made it. You made it, buddy.
Man, it must be Asian Heritage Night.
What are we talking about? Baseball?
No, which side are you on? You on Matty Man's side or Cole's side?
Yeah, I kind of agree with Kevin's sentiment there. I think he's just going to have a hard time getting through 9 innings at a reasonable, pitch count.
Yeah.
Dave would need to push him. We'd be looking at like 115 pitches, probably more, it feels like.
For me, it would be if the stars aligned that they had already decided that Ohtani was having the day off from hitting 2 in a row, the day he pitches and the day after, and it was followed by a week with like a Monday and a Thursday day off, so he was going to have like 7 days rest instead of 6. I could see them letting him go far enough. I don't know if any of those stars will align like that at all this year to make that a possibility. But yeah, that's what it have to be because it would take at least 115 pitches. I definitely think a combined no-hitter is not out of the question at all because Ohtani's stuff, every time he goes out there, there's potential to do his part, to go 6 or 7 no-hit innings. And then if he could do 7...
That's called leading the witness.
I said or. Not and definitely not. We got a super chat from Ray Soto. It's $1.99. There's no comment. He just likes giving us money, and we like it when he gives us money. Thank you, Ray. We also got a $10 super chat from Pat Dwyer. Enjoyed listening to Jeff open the bobbleheads the other night, and I'm curious how Kevin did at his bowling league tonight. Did you bowl a 67 tonight, Kevin?
I tried to.
I can bowl a little better than that.
As I say, I could see you either being like just a really piss poor bowler or pretty decent, like a 180 bowler.
It severely depends on if I'm trying. Because I also try to spin the ball a lot. So
do or do not, there is no try.
You're one of those like after you bowl a 6 on the second frame, you're like, screw it. I'm just messing around the rest of this game.
Yeah, but
no. I know the next thing he's going to say is, it depends. There's a right amount of liquor in me to be a good bowler.
I think
are you a right amount of liquor guy?
Bowling alley like once.
That's the point of a bowling alley. That's the entire point of a bowling alley. This is why you have bad ice cream takes too. Where's that one guy who says we're mean to Kevin? This is why
who do you think you are, Kevin? I am.
Excellent.
That was good.
Pat, by the way, I think one of the reasons he liked me opening the bobbleheads is because he's the one who gave me those bobbleheads on opening day. So shout out to Pat, superstar. We got a comment from Richie, our last thing on the Ohtani pitching subject, and then we're going to talk about the rest of the offense. Richie said, as long as Ohtani has a .71 ERA, why would we trade for Tarek Skubal when other teams will overpay for him anyway? And for me, the answer is because Ohtani doesn't pitch every day. And Skubal makes every team better. That's
have to now.
Yeah.
He does. It's easy. Simple
Absolutely
answer. Just make him pitch every day.
I think that's something even Shohei Ohtani couldn't do.
Bet. Get that boy some steroids.
Hey, before we talk about the rest of the offense, which was a good offense tonight, I was thinking that maybe we could have our friend Pass Clint tell us about our friends over at IQ Bar. So let's do that right now. Hey, thanks, Pass Clint. And thank you to all of you who spent that ad break talking about Kevin's shirt in the chat. So Glenn Ishii says Kevin's going to donate that shirt to Goodwill tomorrow. Meanwhile, at the same time Glenn was typing that, Kevin was texting our group text saying, I'm going to need to get more ridiculous shirts because this is fun. So I think you may be overestimating Kevin's level of shame, Glenn. Cole says Kevin looks like he could hang out with the cast of The Sopranos. Maybe in the shirt department.
The biggest compliment we've gotten today, or I've gotten today. Let's go.
Whiskey Wellington says I was on audio only, and Kevin absolutely looks like he wants to sell me some Jordans. Although, do they sell Jordans at Foot Locker still? I don't like. I can never remember if Foot Locker had turned into one of those like bargain shoe places, or if they still sell like real shoes.
I think they sell real shoes still. Last time I went into one like 4 years ago.
I've been a dad for so long. I haven't gone to like a shoe store where cool people shop in a long time. So
it's hip. He's with it.
Yeah, if it ain't got Velcro, I ain't interested.
To button up the shirt talk, I did also tell Kevin in our group text. I get it. I said he better return the bed and get more ridiculous, new ridiculous shirts instead. Like, we don't care about a bed in your little guest room there. We need shirts.
I care about the bed in the guest room.
But if you have more thoughts about Kevin's shirt, if they're funny, we'll put them up on the screen. But so in addition to Shohei Ohtani, so Ohtani led the way on both sides of the ball, pitching and then on base 5 times. But he wasn't the only one. You had Kyle Tucker and Alex Freeland, both on base 4 times. Both on base 4 times with 3 hits and a walk each. Tucker had his first home run since like the Eisenhower administration. I was like, era? No, that's Taylor Swift. Then everybody on the team except for Mookie Betts was on base multiple times. Mookie was technically not on base tonight, although he did score a run. So, he was on base at some point. He reached on an error. If he had an on-base streak, it would have ended tonight, but he did score a run. Everybody else was on base at least twice. 20, what did I say? It's at the bottom of the screen. 22 times on base total. 15 hits, 5 walks, 16 hits, 5 walks, and a hit batter. I guess you could say they underperformed by only scoring 7 runs. But, if you're the kind of person who's going to complain about 7 runs, you're the kind of person I don't want to talk to. You get on base 22 times, chances are you're going to score at least enough runs to win, even if it's only 7. What stood out to you tonight, Clint, about the offense?
Obviously the Dodger offense was good, but I think what kind of really stood out to me is, Zack Gallen has fallen off. ERA now 5.3 on the season. He had an ERA just under 5 last season. And this is a guy that, where we maybe was in some Cy Young conversations not terribly long ago, a couple of years ago, was one of the aces that helped lead that team to the World Series against the Rangers. Zack Gallen has fallen off so bad. Even if he had been a little bit better before the start, and having some guys heating up a little bit at the right time. I don't even know if we can quantify Kyle Tucker's game is heating up, because he's done this so many times where he'll drop like 2 hits and then go like 18 years without getting a hit, and then have a 3-hit game, and then he'll go another 4 hours without another. Well, I guess that's a much smaller denomination of time. But you get the point.
I hope he only goes 4 hours this time. He's gonna get up at 1 a.m. just to rip a double down the line, just to make sure Clinton doesn't look dumb.
On the Gallen point, Kevin, you were laughing at Brandon Pfaadt, or I guess not laughing, but just being shocked earlier about him being in the bullpen, because he is so bad as well. How much that rotation has kind of fallen off. Let's face those dudes all the time.
Yeah, it was kind of like the Logan Webb thing for me, where every other team, I feel like, with Zack Gallen, Merrill Kelly, were kind of not fearful, but like they respect these guys as like big game pitchers, and I always thought the Dodgers did pretty well against them, so I never really knew, because I don't watch Diamondback games, like how good they were. But yeah,
he's a Cubs fan.
Yeah, he's on the Cubs fan. Cubs, Pirates, pretty much a big NL Central guy over here. But seeing where they were in that context, with where I thought they were just good pitchers, not great, to where they are now, I was pretty shocked. And to the Brandon Pfaadt thing, like he shoved against the Dodgers in the playoffs in 2023. And now he's in the bullpen. He had a 5.5 ERA before they're like, yeah, this isn't working. So that kind of sucks. It's kind of, I guess, what the Dodgers have had with like Bobby Miller, stuff like that. So I guess it happens to every team.
Yeah, it's sad to see Zack Gallen as bad as he is, because he's a guy who I always liked. It was always fun to think about the fact that the Cardinals traded away Sandy Alcantara and Zack Gallen when both of those guys were like elite. It's like, man, these Cardinals, they are struggling to get pitching. They're running Miles Michaelis out on opening day, and you traded away Sandy Alcantara and Zack Gallen. Well, now the Zack Gallen thing is like, oh yeah, it's bygone era. But I mean, he used to be a legit ace. He was one of the best pitchers in the league, and now he's just not. And it wasn't sad to see tonight. I like it when the Dodgers are facing him. I like Zack Gallen, you know. I hope that next time he pitches against the Padres, he can refine some of that old glory, you know.
Yeah,
absolutely.
1 year deal hasn't didn't really get the payday I'm sure we all at one point expected him to get.
Hey, Kevin, in addition to your shirt, Adam Smith wants to make sure you know you also have a ridiculous bare wall too.
It's actually two. It's one bare wall, and because this is on the side here.
Oh, that's a corner back there.
Oh wait,
huh?
you took the what's it called off? You took your cheap sound deadening off the wall.
No, they fell, and I haven't put them back up yet.
Gravity
I have to move everything once the bed gets here. Once the bed gets here, I have to move everything anyway. So
the bed, yeah, the bed just went to go get milk and cigarettes, huh?
Hey, we've got a $1.99 word jumble from Richie Flores. Hashtag save. Saturday voicemails. Hashtag overreaction. Monday.
No, Saturday voicemails.
Oh, voicemail.
Voicemail.
Voicemail. Is that Spanish for bad voice?
And overaction.
Overaction. Ooh.
Overaction.
The extra R is for extra.
That's what's the hashtag overaction.
Yeah.
Voicemails will be back at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys have been reading between the lines for many years, I've kind of been over voicemails myself. They have at times brought the show to an absolute halt. And what I always
that's our job, dang it.
What I'd always planned on doing was having it be a dedicated show. If we can get enough voicemails at one time where we could just pop in, react to voicemails and be like, hey, that's the show for today or for this morning or whatever it is. That was always the hope. That was always the goal. It didn't turn out that way. Not to say the voicemails were bad. They were not always bad. They were not always good. There was a lot of really good in there. There were some that just made no sense sometimes. It's not any one person. It's not just about Richie. But when we start playing voicemails and you see, the active viewers drop by the hundreds, it's like, okay, the greater majority of people aren't enjoying this. And we need to respect the fact that we get messages from people who are like, you guys got to get rid of those. And I kept them around for the greater part of 3 years. But right now, this show has a really, really good flow, especially when I'm not here. But it has a really good flow. Love what Speegs is doing. And Kevin's here. And the rest, it's also pop. But it's been fun. We will find it, though. We will find a spot to bring voicemails back. Saturdays will live on, all that said. Just not this weekend. Because your boy's going to be camping.
And I'm not a wedding.
Hey, Ray Soto makes a good point. Dodgers lead in the National League West is up to 7 games now. The Padres lost again to the Phillies. They did score off of Christopher Sanchez, and they lost the game. So if you're a hardcore Dodger fan who wanted Oral Hershiser to retain the record and you wanted the Dodgers to extend their lead in the National League West, that game was a win-win for you. It was, I was, like I mentioned, I was talking to Spiegel on this show a couple weeks ago, and he asked me for a bold prediction. And my bold prediction was that the Dodgers would have a double-digit lead in the division by the All-Star break. And now I'm starting to think that I wasn't nearly bold enough. Maybe I should have said by, by Flag Day. That's June 14th, in case you were wondering.
I was going to say, when's Flag Day?
Yeah, June 14th.
What's
the doy?
The fact that I look like I sell flags. I don't know when Flag Day is.
Hey, I'm gonna throw an arbitrary date there because this is probably not when it happened. But ever since we stopped doing voicemails, the Dodgers have gone 16-4.
We'll pretend that that's when we stop doing them. Absolutely, we will. Explosives says, I think I've seen Kevin at Chuck E. Cheese.
I love this.
It could be either really funny or really bad.
Do you know what the E stands for in Chuck E. Cheese?
Esmeralda.
Entertainment. Charles Entertainment Cheese.
That's just, listen, that's what he tells you. All right. I know it was government
It's
name.
Esmeralda.
Yeah,
Chuck
it's
Esmeralda Cheese. Mayton's asked if Tatis is still homerless. No, he did hit his first homer of the season the other day. It was a big one. He hit it far, but it still just counts for one. But yeah, it does end the. I had that hope that he would match Kirby Puckett in being just the second person ever to have a 30-plus homer season and a 0 homer season in a career. But that is not going to happen. Diane asks if you're a referee for the Stanley Cup. Can you ice skate, Kevin?
No. Like the only thing I can do, like with something under my feet, like a board of some kind, is I used to be able to surf. But I can't skateboard. I can't ice skate. I can't rollerblade. Like, I'm so clumsy.
What about like the beam in gymnastics? Can you do that?
I'm sure I could try. Yeah. Like, could I walk across a balance beam? Yes, I could walk across a balance beam.
You got I just dropped my baseball.
DC wants you to show us your cool race car bed when it's delivered, by the way, Kevin.
What's this about the bed? I haven't had a chance to catch last night's episode. There was
short story long. I popped in for a while and was trolling them in the chat as the All Dodgers chat, and was talking about how the one thing this man has in his man cave here is what tickets? I know it's not. But is tickets, but it's directly behind his head. His I mean, I have a nice set. You have a nice set.
This is a wall. See, it's a corner.
Knock the wall down.
Okay.
Move, desks don't need. I'm facing the door to my office. Desks don't need to be in a corner against the wall. How many guests do you have?
Actually, quite a bit.
Wow, Mr. Popular. Over. Yeah.
Family
we need to tie one on, huh?
Yeah. I can't put the desk in the corner of the room either because the other part of the room.
We demand the kitchen back.
That's fair. That's
all right.
Fair.
Hey, we're going to talk about a couple other things baseball related. Then we're going to figure out a new thing to pick on Kevin about. I said coming into this series that the Dodgers had a chance to make themselves the only team in the National League West with a positive run differential. They messed with that a little bit by losing the first game. If they'd won the first game too, that would already be the case. Right now, the D-backs run differential is down to +3 on the season. So if the Dodgers can win by 3 or more tomorrow, then they will be the only team in the division, assuming the Padres don't beat the Phillies by more than 8 runs tomorrow. Dodgers will be the only team in the division, and I guess assuming the Giants don't beat the Brewers by more than 66 runs tomorrow. And I guess we'll throw out, as long as the Rockies don't beat the Brewers by more than 83 runs tomorrow. The Dodgers could be the only team in the National League West with a positive run differential by the end of tomorrow. We talked the other day about how it's hard to win a series after losing the first game of the series, especially a 4-game series, because you got to win the next 3. Well, the Dodgers have won the next 2. They've guaranteed themselves at worst a split. Now we've got Justin Robleski going up against somebody tomorrow. Who's Justin Robleski going up against tomorrow?
Pitcherman.
Ryan Nelson, right?
Ryan Nelson,
the 4th Ryan in MLB history. Who are the other 3?
I didn't realize there were more than one.
I'm not here for homework.
Ryan Sandberg, obviously. Big time Cubs fan. Kevin knew that one.
Yeah, huge Cubs.
Ryan Duran, a pitcher for the Angels in the 60s. And Ryan Stanek.
You don't need to learn things that are pointless,
I thought it was
right?
Ryan Stanek. It's Ryan Stanek?
Anyway, so yeah, tomorrow, Justin Robleski against Ryan Nelson. Dodgers over on FanDuel are -136 favorites. D-backs at plus 116. Over under at 9.5. Clint, you think it's always 8.5? It's 9.5 tomorrow.
It was 9.5 today too.
The odds may said you should have taken the under today because the D-backs didn't score much, and Dodgers did their part. Tomorrow, I'm interested to see what version of Robo we get, because he was back to being very good in his last start, and good in a different way, getting that swing and miss, more strikeouts. So I'm very intrigued tomorrow to see if these FanDuel odds hold up. But the Dodgers are once again heavy favorites to win the game, win the series. I hope they do. I'll just say it. I, a Dodger fan, hope the Dodgers win tomorrow.
You know, you homers, I tell you what, you get these Dodger shows and you think you got to be all positive about the Dodgers.
I need more Ned Flanders in here, less homers.
Yeah. Hey, but thanks to FanDuel for sponsoring the show. The last thing I want to talk about here, guys.